The world today is not like it was 25 years ago. The world today is not like it was 50 years ago. We have to prepare for the future generations.
I grew up here initially at the cathedral. I started my religious formation here. There are still catechists that are here that taught me.
Father really remembers that when he was in catechism in the CCD, that he was one of the little boys out there listening to me read.
I'm reminded how indebted I am to those who formed me.
I escaped from the communist Vietnam in 1986, and I recognized that grace. I'm free to serve God and His people.
And if you visit many Vietnamese Catholic parishes, you'll see that we do a lot of service for our people back in Vietnam.
My parents and my siblings are still in Vietnam. And we still pray and we still fight for religion freedom.
In the 50s or 60s, there were lots of priests around, and they enjoyed going to the hospital, and even though the hospital was in their parish boundary, they served it and took care of it. But today, with these large parishes that we have, the pastors are too busy with one or two priests just taking care of their own parish. We have so many hospitals here in Dallas, and we're blessed to have so many people in the parishes that go out each Sunday and during the week and become Eucharistic ministers.
I think we're living in a very beautiful time of the church because as individuals, this is a time where you get to live your faith.
We feed the hungry, we give water to the thirsty, we clothe the naked, comfort the sorrowful, counsel the doubtful, and educate the ignorant. We couldn't do our job without our volunteers. And that goes from our board of directors all the way down to the person that's stacking food at San Felipe Food Distribution Center. We touch about 30,000 people in a year. Our volunteer force is about 4,500 volunteers.
Whenever I feel down, one of the greatest things for me to see are so many people working in so many different parishes all over this town and all over this diocese. I see so many people who have given so much of their lives to do so much good for the community and so much good for the city.
Because the cathedral is the chair of the bishop, that's where the priests gather around him as the most sacred place of gathering.
It's the heart of the business sector and the financial sector and the cultural sector and artistic sector. The cathedral is the place where the human heart can be at rest with God in the midst of all these human endeavors and enterprises.
Six years ago, when I was faced with a seminary that had so few students in it that it needed to close, truly. Today, that seminary is full. We are a growing community. We need to prepare the future leaders of our church.
I was born and raised in Rockwall, Texas. My family's still there. My brothers, they don't push me away from it, you know. They don't sit there and go, "You're not a priest, Mark." In fact, they do the exact opposite. They actually make fun of what I will be like a priest. They have the misinterpretation that every priest is heavy set, you know? And so every time I come home, they're looking at me like, "Mark, did you put on weight? I think you put on weight, Mark. I think you did."
Catholic schools give a much more complete education to the human person. The human person is a soul.
I am originally from Hidalgo, Mexico. We had a neighbor who worked at St. Cecilia. That's how I got introduced into the Catholic school system here in Dallas. I came in not knowing any English. I graduated from St. Cecilia as valedictorian of my class and was granted a scholarship here at Bishop Dunn. It was here that I met Patrick O'Sullivan. When I told him at first that I wanted to go to Notre Dame, he was like, "You're gonna go to Notre Dame." One of the reasons that I became a teacher myself is that motivation, that love, that passion that my teachers had to help me.
I really respect my teachers. While they're helping me and strengthen my faith, I can help them more because they're encouraging me. So it's kind of like a mutual relationship.
What I hope for my students is that they can achieve their dream.
I actually want to play in the NFL when I grow up. I like being physical and the brotherhood that I have with my teammates.
I don't give myself credit for everything that I've accomplished, that everybody is able to see, the hard work and sacrifice that my parents made. Me knowing who I am is being able to realize and always understand where I came from.
To see so many families hungering for Christ and wanting the faith for their children means so much to me. To see them grow up in an environment that is happy and healthy and holy, and wanting them to recognize their great dignity as sons and daughters of God, especially for our people who sometimes question their worth, they doubt their dignity, and to come to the church and to know that they have the highest dignity imaginable. I'm a son of God. I'm a daughter of God. And that because they're sons and daughters of God, they can walk with their heads up, their chin out, a proud feeling inside.
We had 200,000 Catholics in 1990. Today, we have over 1.2 million. And yet, we have almost the same number of facilities. We have almost the same number of churches. We need to expand. We need to spread the goodness of God. We have the potential to be a force for good and make this world a better world for our children than even the world that we inherited.